am actually start recording because once I forgot and it was not good. Um, hello, everybody that's coming in. I am going to encourage you, Hillary. Thank you. I'm going to encourage you guys to please show us what you look like because we would really like to see you. We are all here on a Thursday evening. If you're on the East Coast, you are at 7 p.m. Anywhere else, 3 hours behind, 2 hours, 1 hour. I appreciate you guys joining us. If you have not joined me, I am one of your co-founders of eXp Seniors Network, Heather Brooks. I have been doing this for about 7 years here at eXp. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do with you guys. I know nothing about AI, just like you guys that are joining us. So I love it. I would appreciate in the chat box if you guys could let me know where you guys are from. I love seeing faces. I want you to know this one's a doozer. It's going to be a long one, but as you know, bring your own beverage tonight. Tipple time. This is what I say for my mother-in-law. It's tipple time. So I'm having my tipple, more ice than anything. However, please join us. I mean, again, it is being recorded, just so you know. And the reason why I say that is because you might have a bathroom break. You might get cut off or whatever it is. If you do, don't worry. I did hit record. It is recording. We're going to wait another like 2 or 3 minutes just to make sure that everybody gets in, maybe another minute or so, not even that. We've got about 16 or so people here, which is great. I've got people from Wichita, Kansas, Sacramento. This is amazing. Dallas, Fort Worth, Fort Lauderdale. I'm here in Fort Lauderdale, by the way. We've got Texas, Vero Beach, Austin, Texas. So here's the thing I'd like to say. If you haven't seen other videos that we've done, please go back and look at eXp Seniors Network and see all the videos that we have. The reason why I say that is because this demographics is huge. And it's amazing when you can find little tips and tricks to help you. But the AI scares me. I know we're going to get a lot of content tonight from Christopher. When he told me it was about an hour and a half, a little over, I went, oh, yay. But we're all in it together. So we're going to hold hands and we're going to join forces because this is the future, right, of our business. And so why not utilize this for us? I'm going to give you a little tips and tricks going, on in the chat box of how I would utilize it or how I would maybe ask something or whatever he's going to teach us. But the thing is, it's going to be a lot of content. So don't worry about it. It is being recorded. And I assure you, no matter what, you'll have it to watch over and over and over again. I'll drop it in the comment section tomorrow. Or not comments, I'll drop the video tomorrow for everybody. Thank you. Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Empire, Riverside. Awesome. Sarasota. So thanks everybody again. Now I am going to turn it over to Christopher. If you guys aren't sitting on Workplace and seeing what's going on, it's great. I know people are worried, hey, Workplace is going away. Don't worry. There's some stuff in the background. They're working on it. There's going to be a workaround on this. I promise you. But we as a group will stay together. So don't worry about it. Again, eXp Seniors Network, we're targeting the demographics. It's not about our age. It's about the home ownership demographics that we are targeting, how we're targeting, the way we're targeting it. So quick little few housekeeping details. Number one, next Thursday, I am going to teach you about your BOD. Does anybody know what a BOD is? Drop it in the chat. I'd like to see if you know what that is. What's a BOD? Anybody? I don't know. Nope. Okay, here. Anybody? Board of directors. When I say a board of directors, Why do you need a board of directors? Because these are the people who are going to be your sphere, not just your sphere of influence and help you, but they're also the people that you want to connect with in your community for the older demographics. So it's a win-win situation for you. I'm going to teach you how, why, and what that board of directors is going to do for you. Not only that, but they're going to also be the ones that are going to be doing a ton of referrals for you. So it goes hand in hand, and trust me, it takes a village. This is not a solo journey when you age. It takes a village to take care of each other. And you guys are that pillar in your village because we're real estate agents. We're the best networkers. We know everybody. We know how to connect them. I'm just going to show you the right people to connect with them. So that's next Thursday at 7 p.m. Christopher, I'm done talking. It's all about you now. You tell everybody about you, and we'd love to hear all about AI because it's our future and it's the rage right now.
Yep. Well, thank you so much, Heather, and I greatly appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody being here. I know for some of you guys it's kind of late. I am a little bit about me. My name is Christopher Nolan. For anybody that doesn't know me, I don't think most of you guys know who I am. I'm a team leader. Came over from another brokerage. I've been in this industry for a little over 13 years now, and I got into this thing after a career with the U.S. Marine Corps and then the U.S. Capitol Police after that. Took an early retirement, jumped into real estate, started a team up in Maryland. We grew through Maryland until I expanded my operation down here to Florida. And now we're based out of Vero Beach, Florida. What we knew was we needed a better way of doing things. And since the beginning, it's always been about expansion, growth, and maximizing our system. So a little over 3 years ago, I started to get into this this AI thing, right? I started to go down this road, started to implement it slowly into my business, and then all of a sudden it just started to take off, and it hit, and it became a lot bigger. I realized it was a lot bigger than just a couple of simple tasks. And that's why we have completely integrated this into our business. And that's why I decided it was too big just to keep it to us. And it was time to start bringing this out to everybody else. So what we're going to do tonight is I want to have an overview of AI, what it is, and how we can leverage this for your business. Now, some of the stuff you'll see that you can take away tonight, you'll be able to implement it tomorrow. Some of it will be more in depth. So for those of you that want to go further, we have options for that. But this is, I get super excited about it. This is one of the greatest inventions of all times. And from a business aspect, right, I want to point out to the fact when Netflix came out, it took them 60 days to get, I think it was 60 days to get to 1 million viewers. ChatGPT came out, and they had it was 1 million subscribers in the first 3 days. They had 100 million subscribers in the first 60 days. This is not a fad. It's not going away. This is here to stay. So what I ask you to do is just please, stay positive, focus while we're here, and participate. We got the chat. Heather's going to help me, respond to any comments. If you have questions, let us know, and then we'll jump right into this. Now,
So I'm going to quickly just say, because there's a lot of people that just came in, it is being recorded. It will be up tomorrow at eXp Seniors Network. This is only open to our eXp. It is not open to other brokerages. It's just to us, too. Number 3, anything that he's asking about in links, I'll go find it and I'll put in the chat box. But the last 10 minutes, he is going to open it up so you guys can ask him your own questions. So please just understand that I'm a single person handling all of eXp Seniors Network, and you got to just give me a second and I'll get into it because I know there's questions, but he will make sure to answer all of them at the end.
Yeah, and everything, all of these things, I'll be able to drop in links as we go as well. So if you have any questions, I can send you those direct links. Now, the beautiful thing about this, right? Freedom of revolution, right? This is the easiest thing because we're going to use this to delegate a lot of these tasks that we wouldn't normally, want to do. The repetitive tasks, right? The the things that are going to seem monotonous and they bog down our time, ultimately giving you more time for what you guys are good for, and that's for being in front of the clients, right? Helping them, navigate the home sale and purchase and getting through all of the other stuff, giving you that time back. It also definitely helps me to optimize my brain chemistry because I don't have to bog myself down. Folks, I am not good with flyers and making the frilly stuff. That's not me. Okay. So if I get bogged down with something like that, that's going to take way too long. So by utilizing some of the tools here, and we'll go into these here in a moment, I can maximize, save hours and days of my week so I can divert them to, money making activities. We can use it for creating digital products, which I think is going to resonate with a lot of you guys, because those digital products, the buyer presentations, the just listed, all of these types of components, we can utilize these things in our business and turn projects from hours or days into minutes and less than an hour in most cases. All right. Now, what I want you to understand is right now, there are over 30,000 different AI systems out there, right? Different, products that you can use. But if we break it down, they all fall into pretty much one of 5 categories. The first thing is going to be our ChatGPT, right? Those text AIs. These are large language models. Now, I think most of you guys have heard of ChatGPT at this point, and most of you have probably used it. This is, like I said, it's a large language model. So it's comprised of millions and millions of pieces of information, and it's driven by the language that you put into it. So one of the handouts that I'm going to send to you guys is a simple flow chart on how to write prompts when you're trying to get the system to do something. By putting in a series of sentences, paragraph, I can use it to write emails, create social media posts, content calendars, all sorts of great things. That's what, most people are seeing. Once we get past that, we also have our audio AIs, which for folks, if you guys are busy and running around, this one is one of my favorite tools because none of my phones ever go without getting answered anymore. I have linked up AI voice assistants, so my phones will never be unanswered again, unless of course you call my cell phone, different story. But as far as work phones, they're all connected. I can use this for voiceovers. I can use this for different publications, even as much as if I wanted to go into podcasting, things like that. Then the image AI is another one we're going to touch on. That's another section, is all different ones. And based on your personal approach to things, whether you like it more bubbly or more crisp or more realistic or whatever it is, there's different programs out there for you. And what I want to make sure that you guys understand here is that you have these different tools. Now, we're not going to hit all 30,000 tonight, but yet I want you to understand the basics. So when you're going out there, whether or not you choose to go on and actually, dive into this and become, fully engrossed in it, or if you're going to just hire an assistant and you're going to pass it off to them, you need to at least know what to say to them. So when they're coming back at you, you understand a little bit about what they're telling you. All right. Next, we have our video AI. This one is great. For those of you that don't like being in front of the camera, we can now clone you. We can clone you, turn you into a clone, and going forward, you feed it with a script, and then you'll have yourself on a video for marketing, listings or, working with buyers, whatever it is. It's really a great way to maximize our time. And then our action AIs, right? Our action AIs is where it all gets pulled together. This is what's going to actually make the magic happen. So most of my systems in the background are all running off of some sort of AI that we've built out. There's different AIs, but these will actually link up the different systems. So I take my text and my image and I can create social media posts and all that stuff and really streamline it to all get it more on point. Okay. So first, the biggest one is, like I said, is going to be the large language models. And this is where it all stems from. This is going to be your bread and butter as you get a hold of this. Everybody knows the ChatGPT, but if we go into Gemini and Copilot and some of the other ones, they're going to work very similar in the fact that it's going to use the large language model. Now, what's going to be different is going to be the personality, the tone, the way, the speed in which it comes back. And it's just like most of you, I suspect, like Ford or Chevy or Dodge or, what Toyota, whatever it is, it's going to be the same thing. They all get you to the destination you're trying to get to. Just depends on, what it is that you prefer to drive. Okay. Now, like I said, large language, tons and tons of information in there. And by prompting it properly, this is going to allow you to do all of those things that we just discussed. All right. Trained with trillions of words, and it's going to simulate human intelligence. Now, the cool thing is, for any of you that are using these programs, you can actually program it with either your company information or your personal information. So when mine prompts things, it knows how I like to write. It knows how I like to communicate. So I don't have to keep training it each time that, hey, I'm Chris Nolan, send it this way. It already knows who I am. It's already been programmed. Okay. Like I said, we have, these are some of the bigger ones that you're going to probably see. If you're using Google, it already has Gemini built into it. It'll help you write your emails, so on and so forth. Okay. With the audio, like I said, this is going to connect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some of this stuff. I want to show you guys some real world examples so you understand the power of this. All right. So let's go ahead and jump out here for a second. All right. So let's just take this, for example. We're going to jump over here and swap screens. So we'll start here, right? This is your typical ChatGPT that we have. Now, for those of you that are creating your let's just stick with social media for right now. We know that we need, content. So the beautiful thing is I can program this thing, and some of you may have already done this, but let's just say I want to, create a 30-day social media calendar for selling homes in Orlando, Florida. Okay. Now, granted, my typing's not necessarily the best. That's fine. We fix this right here. I'm going to go ahead and create it. I can create based on what I want. Target buyers and keep it professional and entertaining. Okay. So the more we put in, I'm going to keep it kind of brief right now just to give you a quick, rundown. But the more we put in, things we want to highlight, feed off of a website, we can do that. Now, as this starts to go, it's going to start to create my actual calendar. So what this is doing is it's creating, a timeline, a calendar for us. So it'll run it down and give us scenarios of what we should do. Market update, inside look, first time home buyer, why locals love Winter Park. So it's actually going to, it helps you with your brainstorming, which is, for me, it helps me a lot to get on point. Now what I can do is I can actually start to dial in further. So for this one here, day one, Orlando market update, right? So for this one, all right, I can actually tell it to, for day one, create a video script, include a hook, story, and call to action. Okay. So now I'm going to keep on prompting this thing to move this further down the line, right? So now it's actually creating an inventory. Think about buying, right? It's actually starting to give me some of the samples that I need for this. Now, this is actually, like I said, we have the image AI. Okay. So this is now, for anybody that doesn't know, ChatGPT is now linked with DALL-E, which is an image generator. So in this case, I can now create an image for day one. Okay, so now it's actually going to include this. So now, without leaving here, I'm starting to create my social media calendar. And I can use this for multiple things, for email campaigns, because, you know, I think most of us are using KV Core, right? Everybody loves the pre-templated emails that are in KV Core, I'm sure, right? Right? You know, so you can create your own, or you can create it here. Now, I was very generic with it. Okay, but I can actually create it, tell it to create certain dimensions on the picture if I want it for a certain platform. And the cool thing about this, everything that you create here, none of it is copyrighted. All right. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I posted a picture and I'm violating a copyright law or rule. I now have this component here. Does that make sense? Now, you'll see it's coming up. It's taking a little longer tonight for some reason. I don't know why, but it's creating the image. So I see it's going to put some sort of, looks like a female, Orlando Market. Something's making it run. Maybe there's a lot of people on right now.
So I just want you to know that in the chat box, if you're not looking, I have been actually doing exactly what he's telling you guys to do, but tweaking it for our demographics. So
Okay.
I've been looking exactly what the call to action would be and how they'd get you to come to your website and the kind of things that you should be offering them. I just got little snapshots just so you guys can kind of see what it's, like little tidbits of it, exactly what he's doing, but for our demographics. So if you're not looking what's going on there, please.
Yeah, the more you put in the demographics, whatever your target market is, you can start to target it. I mean, right here, now we have the post, right? Day one is done. Right now, all I have to do is, pretty much copy it, make any adjustments. If I want to do it, it's got a, for an audio, if I want to do a video along with it, and day one is pretty much done. You guys see how it helps you to stay on point with this stuff? All right. Now, for those of you that want to get a little bit more into the weeds with the pictures, we also have this Leonardo one. Now, ChatGPT does have a free version. If you start running it like I just did and start creating a lot of images, it's going to chew through your free version real fast. So Leonardo AI, it's Leonardo.ai, okay, is an image generator, and this one has a free version. Okay, so when you come here, you'll be able to create pictures and stuff. Same thing. You use the same prompts. You'll copy it, paste it in here, and you can actually use ChatGPT to create the prompts if you like. But now you'll see, I did one on a class the other day. We did a realtor at Disneyland, right? So it'll create different versions, and you saw in DALL-E where it was a little bit more crisp and realistic. This one became a little bit more almost like an animated type picture. It's going to depend on what your personal desires are for what you're looking for. Okay. So, like I said, lots of different programs. Each one's going to have its own personal feel. Okay. So, does that make sense to everybody? So, you can utilize this stuff, and in just a short period of time, you can create your whole social media calendar. Now, if you want to go out and get a little bit further automated, there's actually another program called Blaze.ai, where now that one, if you go for the little bit higher package, you can program it with what you want, and it'll actually post on your behalf. Now, I will caution you, part of what we've done is gone into all the algorithms with the social media. I have found, and coming from all the top people in the world, if you use one of the programs and you actually just automatically send it out there, your viewership will not be as high as if you manually put it on and post it yourself, just as a piece of information there. And that goes across all the major platforms, the Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, all of them. They're all set to identify the pre-planned posts, and they will rank lower. If you do the organic ones, right, where I'm going to go in and post it and post it and post it, you're going to get much higher ratings. We're actually doing this. We have a VA that does this for us now, and we're getting 16, 18,000 views on our sites every month, each one, all organically without a dollar paid. So if nothing else, use this, create it, put it onto a spreadsheet, give it to a VA, and that's going to get you, some really amazing, results. Okay. So once we go into the, go past that, oh wait, wrong one. So we go on to the visual creation. We just talked about that with the images. Okay. It's great for all different types of marketing. No matter what you want to do, you just have to find your voice and prompt it appropriately. Like I said, I will share before we're done. I'll share you the instructions on how to prompt it. But the beautiful thing about it is it's super cheap to run this stuff. ChatGPT has a free version. Leonardo has a free version. You can all play with this and tweak it to get the voice that you want. All right. And also train it to be, your local, the demographics, whatever it is that you're looking for. Now, with this, we also use some of the stuff for this slide's for the video AI. Once you go past that, we can actually start to clone you, turn you into a clone. So if you want to use it, you feed it with a script, and it will actually put you in, put your presence into the video. Or if you don't like your avatar, you can always use one of the pre-planned ones that are out there ready to go. We use a program called Descript for video editing. I'm sure some of you have used video editors before. I like the Descript. As you can tell, I have multiple screens here, so I gotta go back and forth with the script. I can fix my eye contact. I can fix the filler words. I can shorten word gaps. I can do a lot of really cool things, and I can actually program it, and it will take sections of the video. Like we're going to be here, we're here for a little while tonight. It will allow us to take those things. It will identify the key points and clip those videos out. So right now we're talking, all right? An hour, hour and a half, whatever it is. You know what? I got content for the next, month. Okay. All by using some of these tools, and I'm saving time along the way. I don't have to go re-record stuff. Now, granted, in this case, Heather has a recording. I don't, but if you were the one recording, you would have all the materials. You can go ahead and use this stuff as you see fit. Does that make sense? All right. So the video stuff is definitely pretty awesome. And like I said, the action AIs. Now this one here is really cool because you get to take these programs. Now, for some of you, you've seen some of the stuff. You may not have realized, that you were even in there. If you've ever gone online and bought something and you click on something and it pulls you through, and then all of a sudden you start getting messages and everything, there's an action AI running in the background. Now, some of them are just funnels, but most of them have a component to it. With the action AI, we can take things like, let's say KV Core. KV Core is great, right? But it has certain limitations. Now, using action AI or a program like we have Make or Zapier. Has anybody ever heard of these two programs? We can actually use it in KV Core to take that information out and disseminate it the way we want. Now, Heather made a comment earlier about Workplace going away. I was ecstatic when I heard that, because Workplace is very restrictive on what we can do inside there. From what I understand, rumor, maybe I'm not, I heard that we're going to be going to a Slack profile. Okay. So Slack works with Make and Zapier. Absolutely awesome. So what I can do is I can actually take, and we run Slack in our team. What we do is we take Slack when my email comes through, right? I run it through a filter. AI summarizes the email, drops it in my Slack, and then I can respond to the email without reading through hundreds and hundreds of emails every day. Does that make sense? You can also send it back to your email into a draft folder. So with an AI version of a response that you would give. And at this point, all you come in, you check your drafts. Oh yeah, I like that email. Send, delete, delete. And it's going to take a ton of work off your plate. Right? It's all on, working these systems in place. Does that make sense to everybody? So let me bring this. Okay, so there we go. So I want to show you guys some of the stuff that it can do. Now, one of the things here, like I said, we can help it to support our systems. So what I have done is linked all of my phone lines. They all run through this. So when you call my office, my cell phone's different, but when you call my office, it runs through one of our filters. Obviously, it gets routed to one of our agents, but in the event that somebody can't pick up the phone, right, it's going to go to a chat bot or a voice bot rather. Now that voice bot is actually going to pick up and answer the phone and have a conversation with them. Now, if you're in there, it would prompt it a certain way, but we run these different voice bots. Now this one here is called 11 Labs. There is a small cost. I think it's $40 a month or something like that. But to have a 24-hour receptionist to answer your phones, you're not going to get them to work for $40 a month. I can pretty much guarantee that. Okay. Now this one's kind of cool. Let's go ahead and take this here. And some of you might be thinking, oh, this is difficult to utilize. No. So what we'll do is we're going to just create an agent. All right. So what I will do is I'll come in here, right? I'll create my agent real quick. For right now, I'm just going to create a support agent. Okay. We're going to name this one John. Okay. We're just going to test. So remember, we're going to go ahead and create this agent. Now from here, it's going to be automated, right? Because I use the template. It's already filled out. I'm going to change the name from Eric to John, right? Just so you understand it's not pre-planned. Okay. And then again, down here. So, it's going to create it in a friendly, enthusiastic, and really want to help the customer get the help they need, answer in 3 to 7 sentences in most case. You'll see it's already linked to your Gemini 2.0. So in here, it's going to use that large language model to create the actual verbiage. We have a site that we've actually linked it a little further, but this one is standalone the way it is. All right. Now we got to do our knowledge base. What is it going to talk about? Okay. Now, in this case, I've already uploaded my website. So for here, let's just go ahead and grab some random information off of here. Okay. So these are websites. You can upload PDFs. You can upload, marketing flyers. You can upload all this stuff and it will read it. I find that it gets better results if you're uploading a website, but you can utilize it the way you want, right? So we're going to go ahead and just pull a few of these up. So now I'm giving it the information that it's going to utilize to talk. Now, keep in mind, when we're utilizing these things, we're still a little bit behind. AI is catching up fast. All right. But the average response for a human is 300 milliseconds. AI, the best we can get it to is about 600 milliseconds. So there is a slight lag. But still, I mean, it's still going to be a whole lot better than missing phone calls. Can we agree on that? All right. So once we have this, all right, we're going to click through this. We got our language. We got our tools, right? We're all good there. We're pretty much good. Now we can go through here and check out some other things. Change the voice. Let's just pick out, let's go with, let's go with Stuart this time, right? So I'm going to add him to my voices. All right. And I'm going to test the agent.
Hi, I'm John. How can I help you today?
Hey, John, this is Chris. Thinking about buying a house in the area. Can you help?
Hi, Chris. I'd be happy to help you explore your options for buying a house. To get started, could you tell me what area you're interested in and what your ideal parameters are for a home, such as budget, size, location, and desired amenities?
Yeah, I think I'd like to be in Orlando, maybe a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Okay, great. Orlando is a fantastic choice. To help me narrow down the best options for you, could you give me a rough budget you're working with? Also-
Maybe 500,000.
Okay, a budget of $500,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Orlando. Got it. Do you have any preferences on when you're looking to move, Chris?
Yeah,
Also, are there
I
any
honestly,
specific-
John, I'd like to just talk to an agent. I want to move kind of fast.
Okay, Chris, I can definitely help you connect with an agent who can assist you with a quick move. Are you already working with an agent?
Not-
Or would
not
you
yet.
like me to recommend? Okay, I can connect you with one of our agents right away. Do you have any preferences on who you might want to work with?
Nah, can you
Or-
make a recommendation?
I sure can. I would recommend Heather Lewis. She has over 6 years of experience with both residential and commercial properties and is committed to walking her clients through every step of the process. So you're
Awesome,
never in the dark.
perfect. Hey, can I get her contact information?
Yes, you can reach Heather by email at info@thenolangroup.com. Is there anything else I can help you with today,
No,
Chris?
that's it. Thanks.
You're welcome, Chris. I'm glad I could connect you with Heather's contact information. I hope you find your dream home soon. Have a great day.
You too.
Have a great.
All right. So in a matter of just a couple moments, I fed it with information. I created an answering bot, a customer service rep. Now, I know there was a couple of glitches, but did you see how I cut him off and he was able to adapt and get back into the conversation? Is that powerful or not? I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Now,
I just wrote in the chat box. People aren't even answering me in the chat box, but if you are, just check it out. This is a gold nugget. This is absolutely takes no time at all, is what I'm gathering, because you basically were able to shut it down when you just wanted to bypass something. There's no pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is annoying. Awesome sauce. Cheryl, thank you for feedback. She said awesome sauce. But Christopher, honestly, this is unbelievable.
it's pretty cool, right?
Oh, what
So-
other voices could you do? Just out of curiosity. Just
Oh, I mean, there's a ton of them.
Okay.
There's ones that are teen, they sound like teens. Other ones.
Did you put your own voice just out of curiosity?
So on this one here, it does not have the capability currently today, but I did notice that they just added, so it used to be, as of yesterday, I had to program it with one language. But as of today, I haven't had a chance to test it. Now it looks like I can create the voice bot to convert into multiple languages on the fly. So we used to have to route it. I'll have information on that here shortly. The one
I'm
thing,
going to let you do that. But
yeah.
by the way, I just want to tell you, first of all, Chandra said it's amazing because that's how most people talk. They interrupt you before you can finish your thought process. So when you have a chatbot who's like just going to cut to the chase for you, why not? Because that's
Yeah.
like an annoying thing that a lot of us do. They're like either the press 1, press 2, or somebody's constantly talking over you. This cuts right to the chase.
Yeah,
I watched you stop.
Yeah,
Like,
it's allowing you to grow. Now, the cool thing is we can actually connect this to most sites through what's called an API. It's an application protocol interface. So if you have a site that is able to utilize this, right? If you have a site that's able to utilize this, an API, it will talk in real time. All that information is going straight across. In the event that you don't, unfortunately, in programs like KV Core, they do have limitations, so they don't have the direct API. That's where we would use programs like Zapier and Make to still bridge it. It just wouldn't have the same, same connection level. All right, but so it's going to depend on what it is that you want out of there. But this here is one of the, is a great tool for us that are in customer service. Definitely, like Heather was saying, so much better than press one, press two. You know,
Yeah.
what you say.
You know what I love? I love Stacy's comment about this because it's emotional, and I am with her on this. She said, and you don't have to worry about hurting someone's feelings by cutting them off. I totally agree with that because most of us are worried about, like, ugh, I just want to cut to the chase. Just give me what I need or whatever information I need before I have to get there. And especially when, by the way, for those of us that are working with the older demographics, they can't see if you're pressing one or two, and they can't hear that easy. So they quite often will cut people off because they can't hear you speaking. So think about how great it is that if you had something like that, they can just constantly say what they need. Makes it faster to get right to the point.
Yeah, 100%. And there are tools. This wouldn't be the one, but I know there's the ADA compliant versions. And we can also turn it into a text conversation as well. On our team sites, we run. Right now I have actually, I guess we have about 17 different bots now that are doing different things. So we have 4 that are text bots. So if you text along with, into the system somehow, whether it's ours is linked to all of our social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, all that stuff. So if you come in off of one of our ads, one of the text bots will, have conversations. One of those bots, the whole purpose is to have the conversation and direct it towards booking an appointment. So ultimately, it's great because even while I'm here, my system is working in the background. And if anybody calls in or texts in, it's going to attempt to set the appointment. So I've come out of these meetings before where all of a sudden I come out and I have 3 new appointments or 2 or 3 appointments because the system did its thing and pushed it through the system. Takes a little bit of work to get it there, but
But I think bottom line is it goes back to the user.
mhm.
I mean, as long as us, the user, makes what he's teaching us, by the way, if we do it correctly or watch the rest of his videos or join him, he's going to give us all that information at the end. But he's going to give you all those gold nuggets so you can get it done and figure it out. And then it just streams itself because that's the whole point of this. Like, I'm bringing you guys in free stuff. If this isn't like stuff that you're paying for, we do this every Thursday just because we want to see the Seniors Network succeed. And so when Christopher's bringing in AI, my little eyeballs were like that cartoon. Wah, wah. Oh my, you guys. What I'm telling you, it was like exciting because I don't know anything about it. And you've really, I do kind of, but what you've described and how you've broken down, simple.
Yeah, it becomes an integral part to your business if you utilize it. The way I look at this is, we're going to be in a situation here in a couple of years. They are dumping in. They're projected to put $15 trillion into the AI industry worldwide in the next 5 years. All right, it's growing, and the way I look at it is, if you're not implementing this, you're going to you're just going to be falling behind while others are implementing it in front of you. So you really need to be on point with this. This allows you to research faster, it allows you to get on point faster. It's also going to help you with analytics, creating reports for your clients. So it is truly a tool that is going to help you propel well into the future. Now, we talked about the Zapier and Make, and I do want to share that with you real quick, because Zapier and Make, all right, they're both again Ford and Chevy, right? But these are going to take you through the process of connecting your sites. For those of you that are in KV Core, this is where you'll have to spend your time if you want to connect these things. Now, most of mine is in a site that I built out, so I don't have as many in here, but you'll see you can link these different programs through here. Now, Zapier just so you understand what Zapier is, they do the same thing. Zapier's been around a little longer, has a few more interface, few more apps that it connects with. I find that makes it a little bit easier to use, especially if you're not as up on connecting these things. So the cool thing about it is once you create the account, right, there is a free version of Make, and it's cheaper even if you buy the pro version. But when you come in here, you'll have a screen just like this, and you most likely won't know where to go. There's a tutorial that goes with it. But the beautiful thing is you have these templates. When you come into templates, they already know a lot of the common workflows that people are using. So let's just say like most of us are going to be using, some sort of Gmail, right? I come in here, I click on my Gmail, and it's going to give me all the pre-planned workflows that are already associated with Gmail, right? Now, if you come in here, right now, I said a minute ago when I heard that they announced Slack, this will take your emails straight from your Gmail over to Slack, and put it in there. So all the stuff that we're doing here, when you're trying to get your updates, and for those of you that are on Workplace and you get inundated with all of the messages from everything, you can start to create filters in here that will take out the messages you don't want, and it'll send just the messages that you do want. So it becomes pretty powerful. You can connect it with a bunch of different components. It's super simple once you use it. For example, like this one here, Google, let's just pull this one up. It's going to create it for you. All right. This is the map. So all you have to do at this point, now this one's kind of cool because we all get emails with like attachments, I don't know, like contracts, listing agreements, things like that. I can actually program it to automatically dump those documents into a Google Drive, which will turn it into a Google Sheet. So it'll walk you through, you choose the folder, whatever it is, yeah, let's just choose one. We'll just pull Fisher, right? So now I create a filter. It's gonna, move it on. It's gonna ask, do I want to do every email in my box, or do I just want to start it, from now on? I'll save it, and it's gonna move it along. And when it needs something like this one, it's already programmed over in Drive. It'll allow me to choose my Drive folder. You can create a folder for, contract documents, things like that. So now all of a sudden you don't have to go chasing them down, because I love when buyer agents send me, like every page of the contract on a separate PDF. That's always fun, right? It'll put it all in the Drive file and save me a ton of time. Does that make sense? Now, if you play around with this,
Oh,
it can
wait, I have a quick question. Somebody said something about cloning, and can you show us an example of a cloning feature? I think you kind of touched on it, over it, maybe. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Maybe about
Yeah.
cloning? Did anybody else understand it? And are we the only ones? Because I saw that. So I just didn't want everybody to get lost on that cloning.
Okay. So with the cloning, right? We can clone ourselves, our video image. We can clone our voice, right? So when we're doing these components, it's actually kind of cool. I have one clone of my voice and we have to train it, right? So it takes a little bit of content depending on the program we're using, between 2 and 30 minutes typically. Voice is a little bit easier. And it'll have you read basically a paragraph, depending on the program you're in. So it can learn your inflections, your tone, right? Everything about the way you speak. Now, the script.
So it's basically, from what I'm getting, just kind of in a nutshell. I know we're kind of on time frame here, but you're kind of like, when you see that green screen and you see an actor acting something out, and then all of a sudden they put it into a cartoon. Not that this is a cartoon, but then they put it in cartoon, and the cartoon image is like, oh, this is their voice, this is their image, this is their mouth structure, and then all of a sudden they clone it into the donkey. You know what I'm saying? In like Shrek. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Am I right?
100%.
Okay.
And we do
Okay.
stuff like that. Honestly,
So cool for us.
yeah, I do more of the mechanical and I'm better with the building. Elisa, my partner, she does all the animations and stuff. And if you guys follow some of our social media, you'll see a lot of that stuff coming out.
Well, we're
But
having her back. I mean, we want her here to show us.
she would have been here tonight, but she had a couple of things she had to take
Yeah,
care of.
but we'll
So,
have a class with her, don't worry.
uh,
But putting those two together is obviously really important because clearly it sends the overall message. I was putting in the chat box, oh, you could do this, you could do that. But if you could clone yourself,
yeah.
because I know last week I had Jacob Sherman. A lot of us don't like being on camera. I would not be one of them, by the way. But there's a lot of people that don't like it. And if you don't like it, this is a great way to get past that feeling, then to give you that, oh, I could do it. And look, I'm getting views, even though it's an AI. Look it, nothing will ever take away from that person to person connection. There is definitely a difference between the AI and us, but that person to person connection will never be taken away by anything like that. It just won't. But this is so cool.
Yeah, it's so I'll show you this real quick. We can do this. Actually I'm working on the one for myself, but let me share this with you. We can also do the video ones. So
I know that we're already at 7:51, so I don't want to interrupt, but
yeah, we're
it
good.
was something that most of us were kind of like, what does that mean?
So this is we're gonna write a script and we're gonna go ahead and create a clone. Sound good? So so I am selling
Real estate to the 55 plus market.
to a 5.
Or downside, right sizing or
Let's go
whatever.
over here first. Let's create a script. Let's create a script.
Oh, I put some scripts in there. You can go take one of them,
Did
actually.
you? Okay.
Yeah, in the chat box.
No,
Oh, I put a ton of them that's specifically geared towards the 55 market, so you can copy and paste.
so what do we got here? API
I did.
one that you did.
Connectors, software. I'll have to go back here.
Well, let's just create one while we're here.
Okay.
How about that? Create a voice.
I have a voice script for you coming up right now. The empty nest evolution. How's that sound, you guys? It's still going.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna this is let's just put in actually let's copy this. Go back over here. All right. Let's get rid of this.
I just put it in there for you if you'd like it.
Okay. Chris, and I change this out to Orlando. I know there's a faster way, but right now it's
Yeah.
so. All right, we're gonna select our avatar. I don't have myself programmed in here, so let's just go with how about Vicky? Let's choose that one. Would you like to enable emotional content for this? Right, pay and generate. Yeah, that's not it. I only take.
Just so you know, I've got something that if you needed it, that's it. If you need it.
So just so you know, whenever you run any kind of AI, there is a cost to it. Even if you're running the free ones, it's just there's money being put in there by somebody, and usually it's for it'll take a second to come up, but it'll take it does cost money to run it. So as you're doing this stuff, there will be some, fees as you're running this stuff, but in comparison to what it would cost for me to go out and run a video and everything else, it would take a long time. This will take a
And the
month.
other thing that I just want to say as he's running this, as we're evolving with this, remember, way back when the internet and when everything started to explode, there were fees and then everything started to become free. This is no
Mhm.
different. It's all
Oh, yeah.
becoming that trajectory. So it's coming that way. You can find, I'm sure, free versions in somewhere and massage it the way that you want it. But the one thing I will tell you about AI, because I've been using it, I've been testing, I've been listening to podcasts for quite a while. Please, please, please massage it into your own voice. It will give you a lot of great information, but basically, I use AI to vomit my head into what I want to say to somebody or what I want to take it to put across, and then take bits and pieces of it to make it sound like me. You want to make it sound authentic. You want to make it sound like something that you would say, because let me tell you, they're going to meet you and then they're going to look at you and be like, you don't sound like anything in your videos. We can all act, but can we walk the talk? Like, don't just talk on video. You better walk the talk. You better really sound and feel genuine about what you do. Because remember, like, know, and trust. That was something I told Christopher.
Mhm.
AI, again, everybody thinks AI might take over, but it doesn't matter. It comes down to like, know, and trust. So it's authentication, number one. Number two, it also it's a connection. And that's what we're all about.
Yeah, 100%. It really does help. I see Christy asked about which AI is this. So this is a portal that we have. Most of them are a little bit more expensive, but for those of you, we do have a program for anybody who wants to get involved. I'll go over that in a second. But we'll be making this one public here shortly. Okay. So real, does anybody have any questions that they want to go over?
There was a question, but I'm going to have them open it up. And I said, oh, Stacy, open it up, because I know that you did have a question, please. And Hillary does.
Yeah, my question was on the email, the sorting, whatever you were doing on Google. Can you do that in Outlook?
I know you can. I don't use Outlook. I know I know it does have the ability to, but I have not used Outlook. So let's go back over here real quick and take a look in here. So here in Outlook, let's go ahead and create a new scenario. So we can also start from scratch. Let's see if it has Outlook in here. Okay, so Microsoft.
Yeah, it says Microsoft, it's verified. So
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
you could.
Yeah, so search. I don't use it. So, but I mean, you see there's tons of different things in here that you can
Yeah.
utilize for it. And remember, the
what's this
cool thing
called?
about Make is you get the free account and you get 1,000 actions in here. So you can play with the workflows and start to build out what you like. And the cool thing is, right? Check this out. We got AI down here, right? So I can ask it, create a work flow from Outlook to, what would you send it to?
Oh, I have no idea. I was just watching you do it for what was it, Slack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
So
what? I don't think we should get into this because I know we've
yeah,
got Hillary, we
but
only have a
yeah,
half
Just
hour, and you've got
yeah, I
a
can go up
lot of
on
content.
I can
And
go up on tangents with this.
yeah.
But
So Hillary, can you go ahead? Yes, they have it on Outlook. So there's your answer to question. Hillary, What is your question?
Okay. Mine is similar, but I keep hearing about how many things Canva has.
Mhm.
Are there a lot of this type of thing that you're talking about in Canva?
Yes.
And then would they
And
be pay or no or
so, well, Canva, keep in mind, if you're here, you get Canva Pro included.
uh-huh.
Okay. So there are prompts to do it. Again, anything that's really the artsy side, that's the stuff that Elisa does. But
I'm gonna have her, so don't
yeah,
worry.
yeah. So she's
Okay.
doing all that, and Canva now it's only recent, but Canva has included AI into their portal, so now you can utilize this to generate images and all that stuff.
I do it all the
Yeah.
time. It
So,
do.
again, with 30,000 and more being included every day, it's just it keeps on going and it's growing and everybody's starting to include it. So yes, it is there. We can go more into detail at some other point.
Are some of them do you have to pay as you go along or not?
Not in
So
Canva.
in
Oh,
Canva,
good.
that portion is going to be included until you reach a certain amount.
Oh,
My suspicion is that most of us here, being that our primary job is not digital design and we're not doing it all day, you're
yeah.
not going to hit the limit. So,
Okay.
I have the paid account. I use ChatGPT for all sorts of stuff to do images, to do whatever. And I have the entry level paid account, which is $20 a month, and I have yet to run out of it. And keep in mind, I'm running my automations through there. I'm running everything through there. And so far, we're still good.
Oh, good.
You know,
Thank
again, you're very welcome. Remember, this stuff is going to be how you build it out, for your your work, your workflow.
Yeah, each one of us is different.
Mhm.
However, look, I know we're on a time crunch. So Christopher, we've got another 30 minutes and you've
Yeah.
got
Well, I got time for questions. I mean,
yeah.
really, I covered a lot of the stuff that I wanted to. As far as making sure that you understand the differences, and got some examples. That one image, the avatar is still rendering, so that's going through. But
Yeah.
the beautiful thing is, even though it's taking a little time, which it does, I don't have to sit here and wait. I can do other things while it's going through. So I entered a short, description. It's all good, and then we roll. So, it all comes down to what it is. So I would like to know more about what it is that you guys are trying to accomplish.
I would love just one quick thing. A lot of us hear the word AI and ChatGPT, and they're throwing these acronyms, which is very hard to understand, break down. You did give an acronym about something, and I did put it in the chat box
The
about kind of what
API.
it means and break it down. But when you're looking at, let's just say, a ChatGPT type LLM, isn't that what it's
Mhm.
called?
Yep. Large language
LLM.
model.
I'll let Christopher tell you. It's a large language model.
Yep. Hmm.
Okay, LLM. I use Claude AI.
Hmm.
Other people use other things. However, I'm going to let Christopher tell you maybe about them and what other ones are out there. There's free versions, there's this version, there's that version, and what kind of a version do you need? I will go over at some point, chat like little prompts that I give it and how I did my avatar and saved it in it. So it will be something that I'll do later in the future. But what is your thought on the Claude versus Chat or any of the other ones out there?
I use ChatGPT the most, because it's so much bigger. It's the original one. And actually, I'm putting in a guide for you guys as well.
And do you have a YouTube channel?
I do.
Because people
Yeah.
want to know about you. And so before we get into Q&A, can you just finish showing us the slideshow if you have all of the information about you so they can put it down, they can contact you, and then you can tell them about what you do beyond this.
Yep, and I will, let me just, I'll
And
put,
what is Stacy, I want you guys to open up. I don't want to ask her questions for you. I want you guys to engage. I want to see your faces and I want to see who you are. So I'll let Christopher ask you guys to answer, like who it is. However, Christopher did put something in Linktree about it.
yeah, that's my
Um,
link tree. So that has my different, social
Thank
media that is directed at this stuff. So, check it out, connect, follow me. If
And
you
you
guys
do
want,
teach something. You were saying
Mhm.
you have
Yeah.
something. Please let everybody know about
Yep.
that before we take
So,
questions and answers and we
okay,
go.
so for those that are interested, we do take this and we actually drive it down. Like I said, we've actually taken all this stuff and put it into a nice, neat package for you guys. So we built out our own CRM. And what we did is now is we've implemented a 6-week AI sprint for those of you that want to take this to a new, to the next level. So in the 6-week sprint, we're going to break down how to program your, the text AI, which, will work off of ChatGPT for the most part, but show you how to really implement this, build this into, your program, utilize the images, into your marketing as well. We're going to tie it all together into workable formats. And then, use the audio AI, video AI, and then, really create this into one neat package. So ultimately, create your own virtual assistant that's working for you 24 hours a day. So for those of you that are interested, we actually do that. Now, when we do this, don't get scared. We do the week workshop. Typically, it'd be $695. The Rapid Prospect. Now, the CRM that we built has most of the components already in here. It has your chat bots, it has the AI links, it has everything. And we're giving basically 45 days away for free, for you guys to utilize it, which is valued right at $595. Typically to run everything, it's cost around $397, but I am working on getting that pricing down. If you were to have me build out your system, it would be $3,000. What we're going to do is we're going to actually set that up to do, with you. We'll show you how to do it. We have, it'll partially be with one of my assistants, partially with me, and get you everything that you need to make you compliant, do the A2P certification, everything in there. We'll do a one-on-one assessment of your business to see how future ready you are, see where the loopholes are in your business, and design a co-pilot specifically for your business. Typically, I charge $1,000 for that. And then we have a membership area where we keep the recordings, materials, everything along with that. Typically, we charge basically, $97 a month. I sell it for, 97 a month or $1,000 for the year. For anybody that joins on with us now, it's going to be a lifetime membership.
All right. So I'm gonna just because EXP Seniors Network is overseen by our corporate, so
Okay.
we're just very cautious on
Okay.
selling stuff. Just letting you know.
Oh, okay.
No problem, no problem. But thank you. I appreciate it because there's a lot of us out there that have no idea how to do this.
Yeah.
Really, and you gave us a foundation, which is exactly what we need. And the best part is that if any of us want to take a leap into that foundation and not want to do it ourselves, they go to you because
Yeah.
that would be someone like me because I would rather give somebody it to go do it and hit the ground running. I personally, my mind would want to go somewhere else, and I've got so many other things. So the Michael and Christy, I would suggest you just go over to his link tree and talk to him and he can talk to you about it. The AI portion is fascinating because it's kind of what's the trajectory of what we're doing. I know you are doing extremely well with it and
Yeah.
how
Mhm.
you've been able to kind of
Yeah.
navigate it.
And just so you know, and granted, I know I told you those prices. That is not what anybody here in EXP is paying. All right, that's a whole, it's $297, right? is
Yeah.
what we're doing as a promo just to get everybody out there. Okay. This is the rest of it's out to the world, but yeah, I utilize this. I don't really target typical buyers anymore or sellers. I target builders. And yesterday, because of this, I just signed a deal with a builder that is currently building 115 homes a year, and he signed an exclusive deal with us because of this. All right, that's 115 finished sales and 115 pieces of property that we're going to be acquiring for him over the next,
But it's
year.
setting yourself up
Mhm.
like in a trajectory where nobody's using it. I do know that Hillary has question for you, but her little hand is raised before I get into it and before we go further.
Before you go off. Um, I was trying to think of how it could help me, and because I'm a one-man show and I
Mhm.
have my vendors, but how are you seeing anything that would do like contract management, like a TC process?
So we run all of our transaction management through here. So now as far as moving documents, I would be a little cautious giving it to an AI bot completely.
Uh-huh.
Because there's still certain things that you have to do. Now we run mechanically all of my checklists. So the way that I run it, I'll show you my back end a little bit. Okay. The way that I run this, let me show this to you.
When you say mechanically, you mean you're in there kind of tweaking it.
Yeah, so basically all the stuff that if you're using SkySlope and everything and you're worried about forgetting things, right? So
Yeah.
or whatever. So I'll just show you with what we have and then how it's going to benefit you. Um Now this, right? So we have so this is one of the actually let me shift to the listings. So this is the way we have our listings, right? So this is our pipelines. So we have our people in here, right? And as what happens is now this is on the listing side, right? So this is once we have a listing. As I move this, and I'm not going to move these because these are happening real time. As I move each one of these, it will trigger the next set of actions. It'll set automated emails, introductions, so on and so forth. It'll
Uh-huh.
also set my timers for build up and count down. So once I go in here, it'll ask me, all right, so I'm doing 123 Main Street, and I just moved it to under contract. It's going to ask me when's the settlement date. I put in the settlement date. It's going to trigger everything appropriately based on the contract. You're going to have to make some adjustments. At some point, maybe I'll get that figured out. But right now, going into the contracts, I don't want to leave that to an AI assistant. But keeping it here,
Can you do me a favor and look at a Notion AI?
Notion AI. Yeah,
Notion
that's why.
AI.
Yep.
If you haven't heard of it, I love it. I
Yeah.
just wish it had what you're talking about behind the scenes because it really needs it. And
So
this, by the way, between Notion AI and what he's got, would be a marriage made in heaven. I'm just letting you.
and how would we connect that?
I don't, I don't know because they can connect to Zapier.
Yeah, they all can connect to Zapier, but
Yes.
with Notion AI, I guarantee I haven't been in there, but I guarantee I can connect that to this with an API key.
Yeah, of course. Oh, well,
So
I know
now
you
it becomes
can.
even more interactive.
Yes. So by the way, Notion AI will end up having a they do have website. You can do landing pages and squeeze pages through it. It's great. It's like if you're ADHD, this is your heaven. Just
Yeah,
saying.
it works out well because I have all this stuff in here. I also set my buyer appointments and all through this. So my AI is also working in here, moving its stuff. Now this is for the listings, but on the buying side and even the potential seller, it's trying to make those appointments for me. So I have it linked. This is linked to my all of my social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, so on and so forth. So as these things come in, it's going to verify them. Somebody asked, I'd
Michael
say,
Hamilton, by the way. So, Michael, the only way you're able to talk here is if you open up and we get to see your face. So we got to see your face, your hands up.
1 second. Let me get the light on. We last light in my room as we were going through this
There
chat.
we go. Thank you very much.
So is this like, is your site a Go High Level white label that you then built out?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
And so
went,
the service you're providing is all of the automations and the messages and the emails to build out Go High Level essentially with the bots in it.
so we've already built it out for you,
Okay.
but yes. Yeah.
And then
So
okay. And does that come with a membership for Go High Level? Do you have to also
no,
buy?
no,
Okay.
it's all included. Yeah. So if you're familiar with Go High Level, not everybody is. It started as Go High Level, then we've worked it in, built it out the way that we needed to include the chat bots, and that's why now we're going to be lowering the price here because now there's certain things that are coming out, prices are dropping, so we'll be able to do more and more, hoping to have that out in the next couple weeks. But chat bots, voice bots, automations. You can go into Go High Level or any other program and build out exactly what you want. Some of you, Michael, it sounds like you're already involved in some of this stuff. You might be, techie enough to build it out, and that's great, but not everybody is.
It's time
Yeah.
though.
And it's time. Yeah. So what is the most important
And
thing?
what at what cost does that happen? And that's why when I was talking about it, Michael, you made a great point, is I would rather pay Christopher the money to do it because my time is well spent in other areas for him to do that automation for me. That's just my personal experience.
How have you found the interface, or maybe there isn't at all, but between Sisu or a contract to close app and Go High Level? Have you found that there's overlap, or the way you use Go High Level in your programs within, is it irrelevant?
So I honestly don't use Sisu. I've been in Sisu. I had Sisu. It is a good program. EXP does provide Sisu. What they don't provide is the paid version. And in order for you to get that to interact, you have to go to the paid version. So unfortunately, if you are in an individual, spot, it makes sense. I just that for the amount of money that they want to charge me to run my whole team through there, I just built out my own. So, but it just depends. Sisu, I'm familiar with. What was the other one you mentioned?
Like contract to close,
Contract close.
any
Yeah.
of those sort of transaction management, or RealVolve, where it's if then statements and time bound statements. Are you effectively doing that in Go High Level?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff is all done. That stuff is done. I just, like I said, with Sisu, I have been in there. I had access. Well, I still have access through here, but I used to have one of the paid accounts, and it didn't make sense for me to keep it going. So it just, you could do it if you wanted to. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. What do you guys use as your front end CRM? Are you using Go High Level, or are you still using KV Core?
So you're talking about the IDX feed and all that stuff?
Yeah. Or
So
the first level of it, I guess. I understand that Go High Level you're using for automations and staging and phasing, but the very first capture, is that going straight into Go High Level?
no, it goes. So yeah, so our primary site, if you go to our site for our team, that's a site that we built through Go High Level. Actually every site that you see me use is no longer a website. It is a funnel, right? It may look like a website, but it's built to be a funnel. So as you go down the different pages, it will lead down the paths back into the site. So it's just the way we chose to do it. We find that the functionality is a lot better, and we can track everything through pixels. So connecting it through pixels to social media, the search engine optimization on Google, all of that stuff is all done very nice, neatly. I can do it all right here, with relatively no fuss.
And are you using, like, let's say I had a YouTube channel, and I had some sort of squeezer capture there. That site, that initial landing page is also generated through the programming you're using in Go High Level,
Yeah,
which then automatically feeds into all of your staging and phasing and tasks and the bots. So it's a seamless integration in your site.
100%. Yeah, that's super simple. We even have it hooked up where your social media comments, when you're running ads and all that stuff, that will also come through. So I manage all of my social media messaging, all of that stuff right through here.
Hmm.
So this way I don't have to bounce around because we have multiple different sites.
Are you working with like Runaway?
Runaway, I'm not
Okay.
familiar with that one.
Does that include Messenger? Or,
Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
If it's on the pro account, yes. If it's on your personal account, I haven't tried to hook that one up yet.
okay. It's just what agents are starting to see is that people are commenting, trying to get their attention for services through all these different venues or ways through social media. And it's like, I missed one the other day because
Yeah.
that person never communicated with me that way. And all of a sudden she's asking me to come look at her house. And I'm like, I never even saw that.
So I would forward my personal messages over. You would be able to do that through Make, or
Or make-
Zapier. You'd be able to, send them over. I'm not gonna link my personal accounts to it because my admins, everybody sees it, and I come from the Marine Corps. I got friends that send me stupid messages. I'm not gonna have
Yeah.
to go into my professional account.
Yeah.
So you just have to decide your comfort level. If there's something you're looking to do, and I may have limitations on certain things, but there's a program out there.
There's a lot, and by the way, there is a ton of programs that are coming out there.
Mhm.
When I was talking to you guys about Notion, the reason why I bring up Notion is because let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff that's behind the scenes where they're adding a CRM to it and they're adding a bunch of other things. It's already a lead magnet. It's squeezed all of it. It can already do all of it for you. It's if you're like ADHD like me and you need everything in one, Teams. Michael, you might want to look into it. Just the reason why I bring it up is because we're all about creating something that's efficient and easy to navigate without having to go do more stuff, right? If you could massage it like what Christopher's telling us and using Michael's information that he's giving us, it's seamless. Clearly Michael's been using a lot of other things to try to create what he's trying to get done. Otherwise, he wouldn't be asking the questions he's asking. And the point of this is we are all about that seamless flow and about getting all of that stuff into one. Now, when you're working with this demographics, that is kind of tricky. You don't, getting back to those comments, you need to take the time, but you don't want to be disrespectful, but you want to get to the point, which is why I really liked what Christopher was saying, because if somebody, an older adult calls you and they think they're talking to you, by the way, all of a sudden they're looking at it and they're talking through questions and it's just constantly going to a different thing that's answering the question. That's amazing. Really, it really is. Cut to the chase. I don't have the time. I know most of us on here have this much time and we'll do anything we can to get it seamlessly, what you're showing us is seamlessly done for us. To create the next. However, in this demographics, it's important to have all of this in place. It really is, because there's so much.
So,
Yeah, 100%.
sorry, one quick follow-up question. What are you needing Slack for that is not being accomplished in your task and follow-up list in Go High Level?
So I run, so we have 14 agents on the team. We represent currently, we have 2 exclusive deals with builders, and I work for 4 others. So sometimes we have, just communications between the team that I don't, need going through the system. So it's just, projects that we're working on. We have various different things. We've teamed up with some of the top people in the world. So we're working on projects there that are really pretty cool. So I'm really looking forward to rolling that stuff out. Some of the stuff I just don't want in that system. So the beautiful thing is I can put where it needs to be. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Even like sample projects, like we were talking about doing the social media. We have our Elisa and our VAs. I upload the videos. I do a recording, upload the video, goes in there. I don't want that stuff going out to the internet just yet. That they got to cut it up and edit it. So stuff like that. And it allows people to ask stuff more freely too.
Yep.
Is there anybody out there that has questions, or that I know that these guys are going off on a different tangent and it's overwhelming because I don't understand it either, but let's get back to the basics of AI and where you're going. What are the questions that you guys have for him? We've got another 5 minutes before.
Yeah, I put my email in the chat. So, oh wait, I sent it. I guess I sent that as a direct message.
If
I'll
you
put it
want to
in.
get a hold of him, he's
Yeah,
on.
I'll put it
Next
in.
week, before we get off, by the way, next week we're going to talk about our board of directors and the reason why you want to build a strategic board of directors, which we call a BOD. And I'm not talking about just calling a BOD. The reason why you need one is, let's talk about it. It's that transition. If you can have very specific people in your back pocket, they can influence you. They can. They're not only going to be your sphere of influence, but they can influence you in the community. Let's face it, we're the bomb when it comes to marketing and when it comes to other things like that. But the best part of all of this is that I will show you very specific people. I'll break it down to you why they're not only going to influence you as the real estate agent that's working with the older demographics, but how it's only going to help you with consistent referrals, which is the best part. It's a twofold on this. It really is. There's so much to be had. So how many of you, drop it in the chat box before we get off really fast, how many of you guys remember when you bought your first house, or when people bought their first house, they bought it with that person that not only did they like, know, and trust, but that was like that community connector for our kids. They knew the person that had the coaches in their back pocket, or the PTA, or the teachers, and they knew all that. Well, it's changed. It is. It has changed. So I'm going to show you the people that are going to influence you, and the clients that you have, and how you're going to kick butt out there. That's all. That's what I'm going to teach you next week. We're going to go over it. I'm going to teach you the who, what, where, when, how, and whys, and set you guys up for a positive experience, because this demographics is on a trajectory. I speak about it all the time. I'm not even going to spew statistics. 2024 had more people over the age of 65 selling homes, over 52%, than anything else. And it's only going to go up. So follow Seniors Network, EXP Seniors Network. That's all I can say. Really. So we're getting there. Anything else you guys want for Christopher? And thank you, because a lot of us don't understand AI. We really don't. Do you have a YouTube channel? If you do, can you put it down in the chat box? And
Okay.
Hillary does have another question for you.
Sorry. I am also part of the luxury program
Mhm.
and I just started, so I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, but they have their own website and I'm not sure how it's going to integrate with what I have already with EXP. Are you
Okay.
familiar with that or?
I'm familiar with the website. I honestly I haven't linked into it yet,
Uh-huh.
but I will.
Yeah.
So
So
once, go
it
ahead.
could be part of your workflow system.
Yeah, I just have to get in. Once I get into it and see what how it's working from the back end,
Uh-huh.
it's on my agenda. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So, it has to do with how is it set up and who built it and what are they going to allow us to do.
Oh,
So, so that's why like some of the stuff with like KV Core, we have to use Zapier or Make because we can't get into some of the inner workings of it.
oh,
Some of the other sites out there, so we just have to see if it has the interface. If it has the API interface, it becomes super, super easy. Just depends on, once we see it, we can figure it out.
I think it interfaces with Canva. And there are a lot of templates in there that we can
Yeah,
tweak.
I've seen it. I just haven't had a chance to play with it much.
Okay, cool. And also like generating for marketing purposes, generating images for that would reflect the type of housing I have in my area.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think it was
What was it?
it was that your cohort that does that? Because I want her back.
Oh, Elisa. Yeah, she's gonna do more of the image stuff. But I mean, I can do it. It's just not as good.
No, well,
So,
you don't even have to
yeah.
answer it because I'm going to make her
So,
come back. So,
so,
and it will be a lingering thing for people to have to come back to see us. So iPhone 132, I'd like to see your face when you raise your hand and you want to ask a question.
Hi, sorry about that. I've listened to Carrie Sove, and others, and I'm just wondering, I came in a little bit late, and I've just been listening to what you're offering, and it sounds great, because I could definitely use the help of something that's automated with the funnels. But I'm just wondering how much you're charging. I know Carrie's very expensive. What she's offering is very expensive. What is your price
So
range like?
for everything that we just talked about, we're running a promo until the regional rallies for $297.
$297.
So, and that's for everything that we just discussed. That's the class getting in there. And the biggest reason is we're trying to push, really strong to get this out to the world. And we want, you guys to be the first ones there. Once the rally ends, our pricing structure will change drastically. Like I said, we're working with some of the top people in the world. We'll bring out a lot more materials at that point, but that would be solidified.
Okay.
So,
All right. Do
So-
you mind if I send you an email
Yeah.
at some point to talk more?
If
yeah,
you guys,
100.
yeah, anybody that wants to talk to him, please workplace him. We are already
Yes.
an hour and a half into it. So few things as we close it up. Cheers to everybody who stayed through this whole thing. I'm very happy.
Thank you.
Nuggets. But next week, board of directors, I got you. I'm going to help you guys out. That's number 2. And number 3, so excited you guys decided to join us tonight. I really am. I love doing this. It's one of my favorite things. It's so much fun and I enjoy you guys joining on the journey. With that being said, it's 8:34 and it's getting late. Tomorrow, I will make sure that this is posted for you guys to see if you did drop off. If there is anything that you need, please, please, please go for it. Ask, reach out to Christopher.
Yeah, I'm easy to get a hold of.
Workplace. Yeah, he'll be happy to answer anything. And I will see you guys here next week. Cheers.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Christopher. Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate all that gold nuggets and knowledge that all of us are going to take away, and we're going to see your partner.
My pleasure. Yeah, I'll do the introduction.
Love it.